This is the lesson on fractions, decimals, and percents. Our target is to convert between fractions, decimals, and percents. In order to understand how to convert between percents, fractions, and decimals, we first need to understand what a percent is. Here we have 42%. The definition of a percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. So when we say 42%, we're actually comparing that 42 to 100. Here's the thing that is really good to know. The word per in math also means out of. The word cent refers to 100. Therefore, the word percent means out of 100. So 42% really means 42 out of 100. Let's go over here. A percent can also be written as a fraction or a decimal. So 42% or 42 out of 100 can be written as 42 over 100, 42 hundredths, or as a decimal, 42 hundredths. What we're going to see first are two examples of converting a percent into fractions and decimals. In order to convert percents into fractions, we write the value of the percent in the numerator of the fraction and 100 in the denominator, and then we write the fraction in simplest form. For example, 32% is or is equal to 32 over 100, which when we simplify this, we can divide both the top and the bottom numbers by 8. Eight goes into 32 4 times. 8 goes into 100 25 times. So what we have here is 4 25ths, which is the same thing as 32%. Next, we're going to change a percent into a decimal. First, we write it as a fraction, and then we convert the fraction to a decimal. So we'll just pick a percent here. Let's say it is 27%. We're first going to write it as a fraction, which is 27 over 100, 27 hundredths. Now, we're not going to simplify this fraction. Not that we can simplify 27 100ths because it's simplified as it is, but we keep it over 100, 27 over 100, because decimals include hundredths. So 27 hundredths written as a fraction becomes 27 hundredths written as a decimal. Now we're going to go the other way. We're going to convert decimals into percents. We rewrite the decimal as a ratio over 100, and then we rewrite the number over 100 and simply add a percent symbol. So let's start with the decimal, 0.85 or 85 hundredths. We write that as a ratio over 100. And then we simply take that numerator and place a percent after it. 85 hundredths is the same thing as 85%. To convert a fraction to a percent, we rewrite the fraction with a denominator of 100 if the denominator is a factor of 100. In this case, 5 is a factor of 100. So we can easily convert this fraction, 3/5, into an equivalent fraction that has 100 as a denominator. 5 times 20 is 100. So we're going to multiply 3 times 20, which is 60. So we have 60 hundredths. 60 per 100 means we have 60%. So what we're saying with this particular one is that 3/5 is the same thing as 60%. Now, some fractions do not lend themselves to having a denominator as a factor of 100, as is the case with 3/8. So how do we go about converting 3/8 into a percent? Well, remember, the fraction bar indicates division, so we can go ahead and simply divide 3 by 8, converting it into a decimal. 3 divided by 8. 8 goes into 3 0 times. I'm going to place a decimal and another 0, which means I'm going to place a decimal in the quotient. 8 goes into 33 times. 3 times 8 is 24. I have a remainder of 6. I bring down another 0. 8 goes into 67 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract 56 from 60, and it gives me a 4. I bring down another 0. 8 goes into 45 times. So now my answer, my decimal, is 375 thousandths. Now, when I have 375 thousandths, because I know that percent is based on hundredths, I'm going to write this as 37.5%. 3/8 is equivalent to 37.5%. And there you go.